Hey everyone, I hope you're enjoying the training so far. Today I want to talk to you about the day in the life of a coach. I want to show you my schedule and what I do on a daily basis. Now, of course, some of it changes a little bit based on the days of the week, but I'll talk about that. But I will go over kind of the gist in my schedule daily, weekly, and monthly. So much of this business, you guys, it's based on consistency. It's based on showing up every day. You can't show up 2 days a week or 3 days a week and think that you're going to build a full-time income off of this. It needs to be every day. Now, it's not 8 hours a day or 5 hours a day or even 3 or 4 hours a day. You can choose to dedicate an hour or 2 or 3 to your business a day. It doesn't all have to be in one chunk. It can be broken up to fit around your schedule. The important thing is to show up every day. If you want people to trust you and if you want the opportunity to build a brand and people to get to know you and hear of you, that's going to take you showing up every day. That goes back to part of the Facebook infinity that we talked about. That goes to Instagram and your followers. If people can count on you and know that you're going to show up and they know to look for your posts, then they're going to do that. If you're very sporadic and there's no rhyme or reason to what days you show up and to when you post, you're not going to build a tribe. You're not going to build a following. They're going to pick somebody that they can count on, that will be there. So keep that in mind. That is the most important piece, is consistency, you guys. Consistency, consistency, consistency. I wish I could, I don't know, say it a million times, but just hear me and take to heart that that is so important. That is either going to hold you back or it's going to grow your business. So let's talk about time. We all have different schedules. We all have busy lives. I have 2 other businesses aside from this, so I don't quote unquote go to work. I don't work an 8 to 5 job, but I have 2 other businesses that I play roles in. Special event planning. I keep the books. I do the paperwork. I help to obtain all the licenses and the insurance. I am the one that answers the phones and takes messages and gets people information. I have a lot on my plate in that area. I also have 3 kids that are all in traveling sports. So during the day, yes, they're at school, but as soon as school gets out, my afternoon, evening turns into soccer mom. I have 3 different kids to take to 3 different places, and no doubt it's either at the same time or different times, but it literally takes up 2 to 3 hours of my evening between taking them everywhere they need to go. On top of that, I've got to get dinner ready. I've got to help them with homework and make sure they get to bed. I volunteer at the school. I spend a lot of time in the classroom, on field trips. I teach PE for the 4th and 5th graders. I'm also on the committee for fundraisers, and these aren't little fundraisers. These are big ones that literally take 3 to 4 months of planning to pull off. So I spend a lot of my time there. That's my heart. And then I have the coaching business on top of taking care of our house. That's laundry for 5 people. It's a big old house to clean and take care of, and grocery shopping and animals and all of that. So is it a crazy busy life? Yes. Would I trade it? Not for anything in the world. I love everything that I do. There's nothing that I would cut out. Well, maybe laundry and housework, and hopefully someday I'll pay somebody to do that for me. But for now, it's my responsibility. So what I did to make this work and to make sure I still had time during the day to take care of all of my responsibilities, but I still was devoting the time that my business needed and deserved, is I decided to get up earlier. A lot of coaches will stay up later. I'm a night owl, so I would love to do that, but my relationship is a number 1 on my list. My family is my priority, and that's the time that I get to spend with Jamie after we've got the kids fed and ready for bed and they're set and reading or doing whatever they need to do and they know what time lights out is. It's my time to spend with him, whether we want to talk or watch a movie or whatever it is we have going on. That's my time for him. So evenings and late nights are not an option for me, which left me early in the mornings. I've never been an early riser. I was always the one that set my alarm for like the last possible minute, and then of course I would hit the snooze and then I'd run around late and crazy. Now, I'm not a worker outer in the morning, but I love to work my business, and so my alarm goes off at 5 o'clock every morning. Even on the weekends, occasionally I'll let myself sleep in. This morning I did. If I know my body needs it and I know I can put the time in somewhere else because it's a weekend, I will let myself sleep in. But otherwise, it goes off. It doesn't matter if it's a holiday. It doesn't matter if it's a weekend. My alarm goes off so I can give my business the time that it needs and deserves and still be available for my family and the other things that we have going on. So my alarm gets off at 5 o'clock and I don't dread it. I actually love it, you guys, because it's different. I'm not going to a job where I'm working for somebody else and I'm making somebody else money and I'm feeling torn between family and work. I'm doing something that I love, something that I'm passionate about. I'm meeting new people. I'm helping new people. So I'm excited to get out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I get up, 5 o'clock, I make myself a cup of coffee, and I lock myself in my office, and I have an hour and a half of quiet, uninterrupted time before the rest of my family gets up and starts getting busy with their day and before I turn into mom mode and wife mode. My phone's not going off because most other people are sleeping. I don't have Facebook notifications going off because, again, most people are busy or sleeping. I really get to just focus and buckle down. Now that does take discipline on my part because otherwise it would be easy, and trust me, I've done it more times than I can count, to get on Facebook and scroll, and the next thing you know, my whole hour and a half is gone and I've done nothing. So I have to make a conscious decision to say, okay, this is my routine, this is my ritual, and this is what I'm going to do, no exceptions. Because if I don't, I take off into Facebook scroll land or I get caught up in something else and all is thrown out the window. So I come down to my office and the very first thing I do is grab my personal development book. Right now, not backwards, I'm reading Push by Chalene Johnson and I love it. I recommended that you guys joined her free 30-day group and I highly recommend it. I'm doing the book version instead of the online version, but I get my personal development in 10 minutes, guys. In this case, I'm doing a chapter instead of 10 minutes. Sometimes it's less than 10 minutes, sometimes it's more, but there's an assignment with each chapter. So that's how I kind of judge that out. But I get my personal development done first thing in the morning because otherwise, you know what, it's not going to get done. And it's not because I dread it or I don't enjoy it. It's because I keep saying, well, it's only 10 minutes. I'll do it in a little bit. I'll do it in a little bit. Well, that little bit never happens. It's always filled up by something else. So personal development is my frog. I get that done first. The next thing I do is I look at my calendar. Here's my calendar for March. I love this calendar, by the way. It's that Erin Condren, and you get to personalize it. Put a little picture of my family on the back because I'm my why. But this is my life, you guys. If I don't schedule, I don't remember. And if I don't schedule, I'm flying by the seat of my pants and I'm a disaster. You'll also note that I have this nice little section where I can write out my goals so I can look at them every day when I'm looking at my calendar for the day. So I look at my calendar, and based on what it's on my calendar, I create my to-do list. Now, what I try to do, or what I'm going to start doing because of the book that I'm reading, is I'm going to start writing my to-do list in order of priority. I used to write my to-do list in order of ease and order of the stuff that I did every day, like Shaco and workout. Non-negotiable on the top of my list every day. Social media, because I'm tracking to make sure that I'm posting appropriately. Times of appointments, etc. But now I'm learning, according to this book, that I need to do my to-do list in order of importance and not ease or time. I also am going to start trying to do it on my phone. That's hard for me. I take my phone everywhere. I use it for everything, but I love my piece of paper. So I don't know. We'll see. But she challenges us and she says, so I'm going to try it because I want to get better and I want to master this and I want to learn. See, we're all learning, we're all growing. So next up is my to-do list. And you guys, then I get my tracking ready because I am a tracking queen. So for tracking, I mean, I have my daily to-do list. I have weekly to-do list. That's kind of redundant. It's the same thing. I haven't decided which I like better. I have my weekly action plan. So these are my weekly goals. I have my monthly goals. I mean, literally, I have papers everywhere, but I love it. And if I don't track, I don't remember, and I can't keep up with it. So I'll get my daily one set for the day. So part of that is kind of me transferring my to-do list. And maybe this is the compromise I have, is that I'll put the to-do list on my phone, but I'll have this piece of paper so I'm satisfying that old-fashioned side of me, I guess. From there, I check in with my challenge group. I am using the new app. I think we talked about it here recently, and it is called My Challenge Tracker. And I'm loving this, and I think my group is loving it. So I check in with them, and I do their daily post. Because every day I post something motivational or a tip, and then I also check in when I do my workout, and I check in when I do Shakeology. So I do my motivational post slash tip for the day. Then I will look at my messages. Actually, I take that back. Before I do that, I create my post for my fitness page. My first post of the day on my fitness page is always something based off of my personal development. So I'll create a little post off of that, either take a picture of my book and my cup of coffee or me reading, or I'll create a picture based on a quote or something that I read in there that really touched me. And that's my post for the day, my first post. Then I check my messages and get those returned. And then I will check the notifications and make sure I respond to anybody. Those are important, you guys, because that's going to help you and prevent you from having to scroll through Facebook, because you know, hey, this post got a like or this post got a comment, and I need to go back and I need to respond to those. If you're working on building a relationship with somebody and you commented on their post and they commented back, it lets you know that, so you can follow up and you can go back there. So those are my next steps. Then it's time to get my kids up and I get them breakfast and help get them ready. I get lunches made, I get them taken to school, and I come back home and I have my breakfast. Shakeology is usually what I have for breakfast. And while I'm drinking that, I'll come back down to my office and do some more work. I'll work on my 3 new Hey Girl messages that I'm going to send out. I will check into the interest groups I have formed on Facebook. I will try to meet 3 to 5 new people, add new friends to my network, and send them messages to start the conversation. And then it kind of goes with my calendar. Then I get my workout in. I usually try to do that late morning. That seems to be the best time for me. If not, it ends up being late afternoon, and I'm kind of dragging by then. So I try to get that done, shower, get ready, and then of course if there's other things, Tuesdays, every Monday at 8 o'clock, I have the National Wake Up Call, and I listen to it then. If I'm going to listen to the recording, I slack on it. I don't know why. It's the funniest thing, but I know that about myself. I know that I need to listen live in order to get it done. Tuesdays I teach PE at 8 a.m., so that's where I'm at. If there's chiropractor's appointments, doctor's appointments, the rest of the day is what I kind of call the mom cracks. I schedule my business in between what I have going on, because my first and foremost priority is my family, and so that means I need to be there for Jamie and our business, and I need to be there for the kids if they need help at the school, if I have a fundraising meeting, if there's a field trip. I do that, and I schedule my other duties in between. Now, what I make sure I'm doing along the way is posting. It doesn't matter how busy I am, there's always something I can share. And I shared with you guys before how I kind of get my 5 posts for the day. So I make sure to take a break. I've paid attention to the times that I get most interaction. And I would say that's generally true about 8 times out of 10. There are times that I post at my normal time and I get nothing. And hey, sometimes life happens and that's okay. But I kind of pre-plan, again, my posts in the morning so I know what I'm going to post about. And so I will make sure that I stop and take time to get a post in. And then, of course, there are the weekly things that I do. So every Sunday night or Monday morning, I sit down and I work on my goal list for that week. There are the team calls. So Team Hardcore Training is one that I listen to, and those are on Wednesdays. Team Go Getters is taking a break, but hers were usually on Tuesdays. So I'll participate in those calls, or I usually actually do the recordings of those calls and not do those live. But I have them on my calendar, so I know it's going to get done. Once a month, I am beginning to create a calendar for my team where I'm sharing with them. I'm beginning to create a marketing plan where I have written down, when does new coach training start? When does Emerald training start? When does the live webinar happen? When does sneak peek into coaching? When is my free group? When is my 21-day, paid accountability group? And then I know when I have those written on the calendar, this is what I need to focus posting and inviting to, because I'm going to have this group coming up or this training coming up. So the week to week and a half before that begins, before that date, that's what my invites and my posting is focused to. So I'll do one grand invite, and then my posts after that every day are going to have a hint or a reminder of that invite. And sharing, if it's the new coach opportunity because I have new coach training starting, well, that week before, I'm going to be dropping like crazy hints as to how coaching has helped me. Hey guys, I just paid for XYZ with my paycheck. I am, getting to go, take a picture of my daughter and I, and we're headed to a field trip. I'm so thankful that I have a schedule that allows me to be able to do this. So again, it's not a walking Beachbody billboard. It's a how has it personally touched and affected me and my family. And I share those in my posts. I'm also making sure I'm using wording and sharing and such that I'm reaching out to my avatar, the person, my niche that I'm speaking to specifically, which are going to be other moms, other busy moms that want that extra time to spend with their families, where they want to do something that's going to fulfill them and give them purpose, yet allow them the flexibility to be the mom and the wife that they want to be. So that's all a plan. That doesn't just come by the flying by the seat of my pants, because if it did, I wouldn't get anywhere. When I work like that, and trust me, I've done it, and sometimes it happens. A week something happens and I don't do my goals, or I don't do the planning, or I'm not paying attention to my calendar, then basically all the work I do seems to generally be for nothing. Because if you're counting on that one post, that one invite post to reach everybody, it's not, because not everybody's going to be on. Infinity plays a part in it. But if you do that one post, or you create that event, and then your post for the week following support that and remind them, you're going to get somebody. Do you see how that works? So it all comes down to planning. It's so important. It all comes down to tracking. It's so important. The other thing I'm going to do is I always check my coach online office. I need to see, do I have any coaches that are going to lose rank here soon? Do I have anybody that needs to order? Do I need to order? Just stay up on that. Where am I at Success Club? I have a goal. Okay, I want to help at least 3 new people every month to achieve their health and fitness goals. So that's selling, those are people purchasing challenge packs. I want to sign 2 to 3 new coaches every month. That's growing my team. And again, hopefully they're going to start with the challenge pack, because that's the better thing to do. Well, if I focus on those according to when the sneak peek is coming up, or New Coach University is coming up, and when my groups start, then I'm going to know, hey, okay, by here, I should be safe and have achieved Success Club. Now, sometimes, does it not happen until the last day? Yeah, sometimes it doesn't. I wish that it didn't work that way, but sometimes that seems to be how it goes. And again, it seems to happen because I have a marketing plan, because I'm not all over focusing on everything. I'm focusing on one thing and making sure my posts are directed to that. So this week I'm going to be selling challenge packs, and in a few weeks I'm going to be signing up new coaches. But it all works, and by the end of the month, it happens. It's a non-negotiable for me. I want to make sure that happens. Sorry, guys. I think that worked. But it all comes down to the plan, and I know by the end of the month, those are going to be met. So when I check my Coach Online office, I'm also looking for my new free leads that I get, my customer leads from Achieving Success Club. And again, what is this? Tracking sheet. So I'm tracking who it is, their name, their phone number, what it is that they purchased or they signed up for, their email address, the date this happened, did I contact them, did I follow up? I'm also talking about coach prospects. Who have I been inviting? Who is interested? What did they say? What is the plan? What is the follow-up plan? You want to check on your coaches. So keep track of who's on your left leg, who's on your right leg, what is their rank? Are you checking in? Do you have a weekly plan with them? Maybe you have weekly calls. Maybe you send weekly messages. I also have a business for Jamie, so I track that as well. And then that's all tracking. I mean, here I have a coach up event. Who have I invited? When is it? There's just so many things out there. But again, I'm a paper pusher. I love it. And Cherie was kind enough to share this with me, so I'm sure she wouldn't mind if I shared it with you if you're interested in these. They're pretty, so I like them because I'm girly and I like pretty stuff. But I hope that makes sense, you guys, is, during the day I really try to focus on the coaching, and a big chunk in the morning, and then it's kind of sporadic, spread sporadically throughout the day. Some days I can sit down and work on it all day, and that's because I love to. I'll create videos and work on my website and other things, extra things that are building my business slowly but surely. But I have to get the 3 vital behaviors and my power hour done every day. That's a non-negotiable. And the extra stuff is gravy. It's building my business. It's pushing me forward. But I'm making sure that my priorities in order. I'm getting the non-negotiables done. And then if I have extra time, I'm working on the rest. When I switch to mom in the afternoon, then again, it mostly goes to posts, or maybe I'm able to respond to a few messages. But then dinner comes and it turns into my family time. And so for me, my time is mainly focused in the morning and during the day, so that in the evening I can be mom and I can be wife. But I have a calendar, so without that calendar and knowing what's coming up, and without my to-do list every day, I would be lost. So that's really my biggest piece of advice for you, is to make sure you have a plan, to make sure you're working off a list, to make sure that you're tracking, to make sure you have your priorities in order, and stop making excuses, guys. I know it's so easy and I'm completely guilty of it, but you have goals and you have dreams for this business, and that's going to take work, that's going to take dedication, and that's going to take consistency. So always keep in mind short-term sacrifice for the long-term goal. Yes, maybe it's going to mean you have to get up extra early right now while you're still working, but know that that means in a year's time, 2 years time, you're going to be able to fire your boss and be your own boss, and then you don't have to get up early anymore if you don't want to. I still do, because that's what works best for me. But just remember that, you guys, that you are worth it, and this is worth it. And if you put in the time, it is going to work for you. It's when we stop putting in the time and the effort and we stop being consistent that it stops working, and that we lose our momentum, and we don't want to do that. Let's not do a roller coaster. Let's create a schedule. Let's be excited for it. Let's work hard for our dreams, because you can do it, you guys. Each one of us is capable. Each one of us has the same opportunity. None of us are given any more of a head start than any other. We all start at ground zero and we all build up. If other people can do it, so can we. So I hope this helped. If you have any questions, you know where to comment below, and I'll talk to you guys soon.